working with people and keeping the people you work with happy. One of the first lessons I learned as an official DBA, I've been doing DBA-like duties for a while, was that the person I report to in the organization isn't always my boss. And so I learned that when we had a crash of an important server. And so I called my boss back to let him know that, I'm in process. I think it's going to take me about an hour to get this back up and running. And he was like, well, that's great, but you got to call the business owner, the person in the company who cares about whether that's your boss in this situation.
Yeah. Exactly.
So don't learn that too late.
Yeah.
You might say something unintentional, like, who bought this stupid application and brought it in? And that business owner's glaring at you now because you basically called them stupid. You ever have an experience like that where it's about the people,
Yeah. I enjoy meeting the people because, number one, you want to know the maintenance windows for the certain applications so that you can know when you can do your business on there without interrupting users and so forth. But I also like to do screen shares with people to kind of help them out, to kind of show them what I'm seeing versus what I think they're seeing and so forth, just to get them going. And if I see that it's not in our realm, to point them in the right direction, maybe a Windows engineer or a VPN specialist or somebody that can help, like a network person. Maybe there's a firewall issue or they're not, they don't have access. If there's a, issue with permissions, then I can help them with certain things. But like you said, 9 times out of 10, especially with the blame game, it's usually something else. And I don't mind helping out with the transition of getting them help to the next person instead of just saying, that's not my job, bye. I like to talk to them and get to know them. And like you said, the business owner, I'm doing an assessment of our environment to see which, it's a beginning stage to see which applications may go to the cloud and which databases may go to the cloud. And in doing that, I'd like to know the contacts, the business owners, so that I can get an idea, because they may say, this database is going away in a year, so maybe there's no need to migrate to the cloud. And it's just good to have that relationship with people in the organization to get an understanding and build their trust as well. Once you communicate with them and you're responsive, that goes a long way. Even if you don't know how to help them, you just answer the call and they see, and especially if you say, hey, can we do a screen share? I want to see your error. That's the first thing I was, what's your error? Do you mind if I do a screen share so I can see it? And before you know it, they know your name, your face, and they're like, assign this ticket to Homer. That's the only scary part because they want you to fix the issue.
That's great customer service, right? And
Exactly.
And when you build that trust, if they actually think you're to blame, it de-escalates anger and negative emotions. So when they call you like, Kevin or Homer, help me out, instead of what's wrong with your database, that kind of stuff. And it definitely, there's a payback, a positive reinforcement there. Yes. Another kind of keeping people happy thing too, very similar line of thinking was people would get to know you and then completely bypass the ticketing system and call you directly.
Oh yeah.
And so that's another reason why I think the being just a good person, talking to them, getting to know them, they won't take offense when you say, I really need for you to log this as a real incident in our incident tracking system, because it won't show up on our reports. Now it's going to get assigned to me and I'll help you. So it's no difference in terms of that, who's doing the work, but it's really important that it goes through the right channels, because all kinds of decisions are based on how many calls we get, how long it takes to resolve, that sort of thing. So if you're used to people calling you directly and you don't have some kind of tracking system, you really need one.
It needs visibility. You're right.